Hello, and welcome to the Richmond race, the second of the chase. Mr. Alan Nesfeder has the pole. He did it in very good fashion. Won it by barely 1/100th of a second. A very good deal indeed. So, point standings as of now, we have Craig Lee first, John Tharp second, 5 points behind. Alex Crapser third, 10 points behind. Matthew Dominique fourth, 25 points behind.
Drivers, to your cars.
40 plus points is Ken, Tim, Scott Jackson, Rick Jackson, and John Batista, who's 74 points. Behind Craig, Ryan Hoiser is 139 points back after a terrible ordeal during the last 30 laps of the event, running into Christian Torres. Hello.
Hello.
How are you this fine afternoon?
Where the fuck is the race?
The race is live, sir.
Oh. Whatever.
We're gonna go through the starting lineup. We have pole sitter, aforementioned Mr. Alan Nesfeder. 3 cheers for 78. Second, Rick Jackson, currently not a short track master, currently 8th in points, needs this good qualifying effort to help maintain his track position. Third, Matthew Dominique, winner last week at Las Vegas. Fourth, John My Man Batista, Valvoline 39, currently 7th or 9th in the point standings. Fifth, Honest Alex Crapser, Pennzoil, currently 3rd in points. Sixth on the grid, Zach Diet Coke Michael. 3 cheers for Mr. Michael.
I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper right now.
That is not the best scenario for the sponsorship coming into the final stages of the season.
So?
7th, Muzzy, Donald Stewart, Ford Taurus. 8th, Ryan Hoiser, dominated last week until a wreck ended his day. 9th, 8-up, Scott Jackson, currently 7th in the standings. 10th, Dave Marlboro Cigarette Miller. Bill Piper Werkheiser. New Orleans Saints Ampio, Jimmy Stevens, currently very distraught at the recent developments of the team. Jonathan Scrabix Boeing. And Aaron Cummings, a very unlikely top half of the field row. Mr. Ken Pettit, 5th in points. Dale Oldman Rosendahl, FedEx. Not to be confused with IPS. Brandon Rains, the hard racer himself, Craig Lee, currently leading the point standings. Johnny Reed Foley. Walt Oldman Flowers, last race at Richmond.
Shout out to his brother Harold Flowers.
Yes. And Tulip Flowers, his wife. Christian Torres, GameStop. First caution last week after 200 plus laps. Tim McDonald struggled a little bit last week at Las Vegas, currently 6th in the standings. Markel Murphy, Bush Bonanza points leader, made the show. Possibly his best qualifying effort of the year, Glenn Kaufman, inside the top 30. John Tharp, 5 points back, 2nd place. Scarberry, STP Dodge. Matt Raboyne, Valvoline. Tony. 'Tony' Long, Safe Holland New Way, Chevrolet. 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 'Tony' Long, Safe Holland Dan Johnston, Venom. Corn-fed Flex Fuel, not to be confused with Flex Tape, Tex Perry. Broderick Whitman, Dalton Lucas, Tyler Scott, Zach Miller, Scott Drake, Adam My Man Crapser, Michael Henson, Tony Pizarro starting way back in the 38th position. Then Ben Gear, Dave Butterworth, Steven Spears made the show, and Martinsville winner Randy Dawes failed to qualify as many other people, such as Dale Cooper and the Lions.
And Kevin.
And Kevin, good catch, sir.
Touchdown, Ohio State.
Ooh, oh! And the pole sitter, in a dire heap of dire straits, before the green.
Wants his MTV.
What's the score on that?
Assuming we make the extra point, it will be 7-5. Yes, baseball.
Are you sure?
No, it's football, and yes, it is 7-5.
How did that happen?
Well, we got a safety on our second play from scrimmage from the 2-yard line, and then they kicked the field goal and they got the ball back on the ensuing safety punt. Then we got the ball and went down and scored really quick. So it's 7-5 OSU over Miami, Ohio. Green flag is out!
Woo! Matthew Dominique takes the point.
They haul ass into turn 1, and they haul ass out of turn 2.
Zach Michael in a very precarious position on lap 2.
I think I'm just here to fuck people up at this point.
Well, you and half of the other guys up front.
Playoff driver comes up behind me and goes to pass, and I just nose him right into the wall like Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman.
I forgot that happened until today.
I thought he was driving a sprint car again.
Ryan Heuser making some daring 3-wide moves on the bottom. Already gained a few spots since the start. Dominic has pulled away. Rick Jackson second. John Batista third. Alex Crapser gets the ball.
Oh, ball shouldn't have been standing.
Dave Miller in the middle 3-wide trying to make something happen. And he gained 0 spots. What are the scores of the other games right now?
Let's see. Auburn's up on Texas A&M 7-0. Pittsburgh's up on UCF 7-0. Washington's up on BYU 14-3. LSU defeated Vanderbilt 66-38. Alabama beat Southern Mississippi 49-7. Florida beat Tennessee 34-3. Wisconsin destroyed Michigan by a lot, like 35-14. Cal beat Ole Miss. 10 Utah lost to USC last night. And why it's only showing me 5 games? No, okay. Boston College beat Rutgers 30-16.
What's our record now?
3-1? Yes, 3-1.
We lost one.
Yeah, you guys got like pummeled by Kansas last week, 48-24.
We should have played better.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you guys are 21-point favorites or nothing and lost by 24.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
No. Can't win them all. Can't win them all. Lap 15, it's Dominique at the point, John Batiste and Ryan Royser. Got third from Scott Jackson. Lots of battling out back. Alex Crapser has lost several spots since the start. He's dropped all the way back to 19th, currently battling Aaron Cummings for the 18th position. Markel Murphy, on the other hand, driving back. Battle between Dave Miller and Jimmy Stevens, side by side, coming off the turn.
Oh!
And like Drew Brees' thumb, the side of Jimmy Stevens' car is smashed.
Yes, like smashed potatoes.
Those are the best potatoes. Frenched fries.
Frenched fries? You mean fried French?
God. I love how you were trying to correct me and you just made it so much worse.
Okay.
Alex Crapser trying to regain all the spots he lost earlier. He's going to be put in another precarious qualifying position. As Ben Gear, using his short track expertise to fly by both cars.
Overrated.
Yes, the guy that's 30th in points is overrated. Markel Murphy and Jimmy Stevens. With an excellent battle for the 15th position. 2-second gap between John Batista, who's feeling a little bit of pressure from Ryan Hoiser and Scott Johnson. What'd you have for lunch today?
I had Pizza Hut.
Really? What did you have at the Pizza Hut?
I had 2 pizzas, wings, and breadsticks.
Good. Like, were they big pizzas or small pizzas?
Medium one topping.
2 of them?
Bye. Well, I didn't eat the whole thing. I have like a pile of leftovers in my fridge.
Okay.
I have a mini fridge, and like 40% of the fridge part is filled with just pizza.
Just make
The
sure
rest of
that
it's
you eat
filled with like Dr. Pepper.
Make sure you eat it within 2 days.
Yes, I'm having it for dinner. Also, I'm living on pizza for the weekend.
That sounds like a good life plan to live on.
Pizza weekend! Woo!
As we stare at the 2-dimensional lunar globe, it is time to say hello to all the fans out there.
Where's MVP Baseball 05? Where's Madden 19? Touchdown! Auburn! They're playing Texas A&M. Now they're up by 2 scores in the first.
Oh no!
God. I feel like while you're streaming, you should like watch the stream so you're not so far ahead of everybody else.
Oh, we're doing good. Unlike the Caterpillar machine.
Nothing's happened yet. Oh, he's pitting.
He's going to lose at least 1 lap. Enough tires to catch back up. Right now we've got a death-defying battle for second between Ryan Hoiser and John. The two stay side by side coming up. Hoiser's got the advantage on the front stretch. He will practically clear the third round. Take 20 seconds back.
Yes, we are playing game 2 of our 3-game series with the Phillies. Yes. Unfortunately, both the Twins and Rays won yesterday, so neither lost the game in the playoff races. Got up the Red Sox with 9 yet at 4 in 11 innings. Yeah, you guys are out with the Indians won. You guys were eliminated from playoff contention for the first time since 2015. Ooh, so sad.
fine with it.
Meanwhile, the Marlins have extended their manager. He's been like 250 and 370 in his 4 years with the team or whatever.
There's nothing he can do.
Right. Honestly, the Marlins play the Dolphins.
What sport?
Yes.
Basketball.
Michael Waltrip on Twitter says, stage breaks with 0 live pit stops in Xfinity and trucks is absolutely the right thing to do. It'll give fans more racing action and the TV networks a perfect time to play commercials and keep the race flowing, and save teams a lot of money.
I have no problem with stages. I just have a problem with stage points.
I don't like any of it. And the idea of having no live pit stops, I mean, really, we might as well just, like, be racing slot cars.
I don't know. The problem is there's no cautions anymore. Nobody wrecks. Unless it's on a restart. So it's hard to really bunch up the field and make it enticing. If they can make the cars harder to drive or the crash more. Maybe that would help that a little bit. But otherwise they have to force things like this to make it more exciting. Otherwise just shorten the races and not just have stages.
They should shorten the races.
NASCAR will never do that though.
I mean, they shortened Pocono. Power Club.
Yeah, 500 to 400.
It's pretty significant.
Yeah, but there is a lot of other 400-mile races. If they were to do like old NASCAR, where you had the Southern 500, Coke 600, Daytona 500, and everything else was like 100 miles or 200 miles, that would be more interesting, I think. I think they hadn't figured out that yet, honestly. Make the big races long. That way they're exciting and different. And have the short races be short, super short, just to get it over with. So there's a lot of action in a short period of time. Because you're not getting any other action for 300 miles of the 400 anyway.
I don't think stage breaks have really increased the racing action at all.
Only
All they've done is complicate a point system that really should just be as simplified as possible.
Like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5, 10, 15,
Or like,
20.
no bonus points, no resets, just run the race. Where you finish is the points you get. You win the race, you get 40 points.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That way people understand it. Once you cause confusion, nobody's going to want to watch it.
Now it's like you get 8 points if you finish 3rd in the first stage, and 2 points if you finish 9th in the second stage. And then if you win the stage, you get a playoff point that carries over into the chase. And then if you win the race, you get 5 playoff points that carry over into the playoffs that combine together, follow you throughout the playoffs. When they restart, you get those playoff points added to your total, on top of bonus points for each of the wins that you have heading into that round.
How's a casual fan supposed to keep up with that?
They don't.
That's why they're not watching. That's part of the reason why.
Like, just run the race. Like, no bonus points for anything.
They've overthought everything. It was so simple. That's part of what made NASCAR so interesting. Just a bunch of rednecks riding around in circles. And if you win, you win. If you don't, you don't.
F1 doesn't have any bonus points for anything. F1 doesn't even award points to half the field.
Yes. That might be underthinking it. that's why 3 or 4 championships have been decided by an intentional crash. Points are awarded at a certain position. But that's a whole nother issue. I will say this though, as bad as NASCAR is, I think Formula 1 is worse.
Formula 1 is different. It's worse in the overall racing action, mostly because the cars, it's a lot harder to pass, and they're also running road courses, and really big road courses at that, with only 20 cars, so they're going to get spread out regardless, compared to like 40 cars at Dover or something, where everybody's on top of each other the whole time. But the race is exciting because of the strategy and the weather and things.
They're doing their best to kill any form of weather anymore.
Not really. I mean, they still race in the rain.
Yeah, but they used to race in like monsoon conditions.
Well, at some point you're gonna have to stop. Especially when there's lightning within 7 miles of the racetrack.
Right. My biggest problem is there's no parity. People say like Red Bull is better at this type of track. Yeah, by like 10% more. It's not significant. No matter what
the majority,
track you go to, Mercedes is going to be the number.
Ferrari's right behind, Red Bull's right there, and they occasionally win. But like outside of outside of Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari, it's like
and it's always been like that, really. But there used to be a lot more engine failures, and a few more crashes too. So you'd get surprise winners due to attrition, but now you don't.
When was the last time somebody not at one of those 3 teams won a race?
That's a good question.
I'm looking it up right now.
I'm trying to remember the teams that were together.
2016, Mercedes won all but 2 races, and Red Bull won the other 2. You can tell by how long it's taking me to find a result that I have going back several years. Kimi Raikkonen 2013 in a Lotus.
That sounds right.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, McLaren didn't win the race that year. And McLaren won 2012. Yeah, 2012 looks like fun. It's McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, Williams, Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull, Lotus, McLaren. It's like, oh wow, that looks like a fun season. And now it's like Mercedes, Ferrari. And like Mercedes is really competitive with each other. Hamilton was dominant in the race, so it's not even like you have 2 guys that are competitive racing. I don't know, I like it.
Well, the races are short.
No, it's kind of, it's sometimes more exciting, but it's more exciting because sometimes it's entertaining enough for me to watch, like, battle for third or something instead of the battle for the win.
NASCAR, nobody cares who's second to last. Which is
you ain't first, you're last.
I remember when you got top 10 in points, it was a big deal.
Yes.
Now nobody cares.
Get a good points day. Like, there's no such thing.
A good points day is winning Tuesday or so.
I don't know. It's just like NASCAR is just trying to complicatedly simplify their races.
I think you got the first part right. There is no simplification to any extent.
No, they're trying to simplify it, but they're just making it more complicated. system, the playoff system. And then drivers complained that, oh, this isn't fair, so they added stage points to try and make it more fair.
Well, who cares what the drivers think? Shouldn't they
If
be
anybody
grateful
thinks.
that they're in the series?
Yeah.
My favorite is when they tell us what the fans want, and then we hear it and we're like, Bristol's a good example. Like, Tim is one of the few people that I think actually want the bottom feeding race. I want to see the side-by-side that we had in 2008, 2009. I thought that was better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to see a good race.
Yeah. It's hard to screw up Bristol. Right. It's a short track with banking. That's the best you can possibly get. Why complain? The new package is making the super speedway better.
But it's making everything else worse.
Really?
Like, you get up behind a guy and you just can't pass.
Well, that's... I feel like that has more to do with
Yeah.
It's been the same problem since the COT existed.
Yeah.
Who's winning Boston College?
Oh, their game's over.
Oh, who won?
Boston College. 30 to 16 over Rutgers.
Oh, that's right, you said that already. Who's winning the Ohio State game?
The Ohio State's 14 to 5.
Get rid of this 5 here. Make it 6.
Ow! 1 point safety?
Yes. We already established that's the only way.
Touchdown! Buckeyes. Get fucked, Miami of Ohio.
Johnny B. Foley has passed. Mr. Rick Jackson taking the 6th position. Matt Raboy trying to follow suit. And Zach Michael right behind in the 8th spot. Tim McDonald's working his way through traffic, but he's still 2 laps down. And it needs a lot to happen to have a good points game. Meanwhile, Ryan Hoyser is currently still leading. Alex Krapser's gone a lap down. Very, very low area. Currently 30th place. Not finding the grip he wants as his team behind. Is finding the grip he wants. Cars currently still on. The next victim will be Zach Miller and Randy Donovan. trying to take advantage right behind. He's going to take third. So Dominique from second to fourth has the 39 machine battle. So far, the top four: Ryan Holzer, John Batista, Scott Jackson, and Matthew Dominique. Johnny Reed Foley way back, 8 seconds behind in 6th. Tim McDonald still last place after his green flag pit stop. Glenn Kaufman 38th, 1 lap down. Matt Burgoyne 6th. Zach Michael 7th, Scott Drake 1 lap down, Rick Jackson 8th, Donald Stewart, Tony Long 1 lap down, Dalton 1 lap down. Last car on the track on speed. Ben Gear, an impressive 10th. Here's Ken Pettit, Mr. Dave Miller, Markel Murphy, impressive run at 13th. Tony Pizarro, who's gone from 38th to 14th. So he's looking to do everything he can.
When was the last time the same team went 1-2-3 in the Daytona 500?
Same team?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's 97.
Gibbs did it this year.
They did?
Yeah.
Really?
I was watching highlights and saw that, and I'm like, huh. Yeah, Hamlin, Kyle, and then Eric Jones was in 3rd.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, 97 was Gordon, Labonte, and Craig. It's hard for Earnhardt to have ever done it. Pretty much every team other than Hendrick or Roush, because there was no 3-car teams. I wonder if there's ever been a 500 since, let's say, 1990, where the top 10 was 10 different teams. That would be
probably not.
Derek Cope's team in 1990 wasn't exactly teammate worthy.
Well, the top 6 in 2006 was Hendrick, Ganassi, Penske, Yates, Gibbs, Childress.
What year?
6.
Oh. Was,
and then it was Hendrick.
Sorensen, Ganassi?
Probably, but it was Casey Mears who finished 2nd.
Oh.
And then it was Hendrick again, DEI, Wood Brothers, Yates, the top 10. Circle Sport? Are they even still a thing?
Probably.
Probably. I don't think so. Or they've been like bought by somebody else. No, their last race was the 2015 Homestead race.
That's a shame.
No.
I mean, it's a shame that that was their last race.
Fuck them.
Okay. Remember Jeremy Mayfield's 36 360 car?
Oh, they merged with the Motorsports Group, who closed this year. Okay,
So
I'm trying to find what other shitty team bought the leftovers of their team. Doesn't say. I guess they just closed.
I think NASCAR is going to go back to just shitty teams racing after Penske and Gibbs and Roush die and Hendrick. There's no more good teams left. Let's just grab some trashed material and build our own race cars again.
Yes, we'll build it out of aluminum foil and some rebar.
Matthew Dominique and John Batista race side by side for third. To the front stretch, they are side by side. Looks like Dominique's going to have the advantage in the infamous bottom lane entering turn 1 that everybody loves so much. And he will take the spot as the lap cars are 3 wide behind him, or in front of him, I should say.
Same thing.
3 wide next to you. Oh, sorry. I didn't say in front of you. Thanks, Chad. Because as you know, Chad Knaus is a spotter.
Yes.
And Dominique and Batista race side by side again. Lap traffic on the high side. Randy Dobbins is going so slow, and he has to hold up. Still neck and neck on the front stretch. And Batista will take it. Third to John Batista. Some impressive runs so far. Jonathan Skravix and Aaron Cummings both in the top 20. They're both still on the lead lap. But right now, Mr. Heuser is a modest 4 seconds ahead of Scott Jackson. And is looking to lap more cars inside the top 20. Consider Alan Nesfeder has gone a lap down before race pit stop, put him to the back of the field. A big shout out to Mr. Ambio Jimmy Stevens for having a very torrid run these 4 races. Looking to continue that streak today, currently in 16th. There are 15 cars comfortably on the lead lap. One of them is Markel Murphy. Still racing some of the league's funnest drivers. Dave Miller, Ken Pettit, and Tony Kazan. All trying to find their way back into the top 10. Aaron Cummings and Jonathan Skravix have gone a lap down. Now 16 cars on the lead lap.
Somebody in the NR2000 subreddit is asking if 1 terabyte disk space is enough for 2003.
think so.
Nah, not when you have as many mods as I do.
I mean, 2003 is a good game and all. I think the terabytes. If a terabyte's good enough to do everything on World of Warcraft, which is like a billion space units, whatever it's called, some tracks and some cars. Oh!
Oh. Magic.
You know.
Oh, oh, oh.
Taking it easy, doing his best to pretty much stay out of trouble. Currently 7th spot, Johnny Reed Foley 6th, Matt Ramon 5th. Johnny Reed Scott has made an unscheduled pit stop. He is now 3 laps down, puts him to last and Tim to 41st.
Whatevs.
3 extra points for the 22. When's the last time you were talking about?
Thursday night.
What did you get?
I had 2 Frito burritos and one bean burrito, whatever it is that's on the dollar menu, and then I had triple layer nachos.
That sounds pretty damn good.
It was quite tasty.
There's something special about their food. It's crazy. They can have mess into something good. It's like they put on their sombrero and they're like, okay, I'm gonna make this magic happen. And then you eat it and you're like, this is magic. As John Foley and Matt Burboyne currently race side by side for the 5th position. He's been looking for a spot all night. Might finally get it. He's going to make a 3-wide move on the lap car of Michael Henson as the 2 remain side by side.
Brandon Gaudin is commentating the Ohio State game and I'm immediately triggered.
Is he doing it with much enthusiasm?
No, he's talking like a normal person.
Sorry.
He's actually not bad when he's not, like, hyping up Madden. And it's first down!
And it's nice when he
on the
doesn't
play!
say the same stuff.
Yeah, and then Charles Davis just blabbers over, like, the entire 3rd quarter.
He's the real problem. He's terrible.
They both suck. Justin Fields! Touchdown! Woo!
He is the next Jets' future quarterback.
Please no. It is now 28-5.
Please. Have the other team score.
No.
Jimmy Stevens has gone a lap down. Craig Lee, the points leader, is right in front of Ryan as Ken Pettit makes a pit stop. Craig and Ryan dominated the early Richmond race. But today, only one dominates and one struggles. Craig Lee comes in for a pit stop. Try to get his lap back and move forward in front of the leader. Johnny Reed Foley, Matt Merboyne, and Zach Michael come in during the same.
Thanks, Goodyear. I thought they gave us tires that didn't wear out.
Yes. After 125 laps of green flag action, the tires have run out. Goodyear did promise these guys at least 126, so unfortunately, it looks like they lied to the drivers.
Well, you know what they say, go till it blows.
Didn't so. Ryan Hoyser made a pit stop. He's out. Managed to get to that 126 mark. Tony Mazzaro is right in front of him, about to go. It's a very rare sighting at the Richmond Speedway. John Tharp having a terrible day. He's currently in. Mr. Scott Jackson, currently in at this time. Pizarro's going to try to go on the bottom wide. Scrappers also trying to fight for the lead, currently in 15th place. Pizarro might get it.
And I'll sit here and wait for 15 seconds until I see what actually happened.
Many cars involved. Tim McDonald looks to be involved. Let's see what happened. It looks like the initial contact from Jonathan was trying to react to that wreck up front. It's crazy.
I got a little skin itchy.
right now is that Tim McDonald was involved. He probably got both of his laps back, I'm guessing. Now was involved in a fierce accident. And looked to be Ryan Hoyser's in first. That's one Flowers got very angry coming up into the team. Looks like the wreck was caused by Tim McDonald's old tires, and Donald Stewart decided to try to make a run on that outside lane and failed miserably.
Bumble! Miami! Ohio State ball!
It's going to be 40 to 5.
Well, 35 to 5, yeah.
Tim actually almost got away from that, but Adam Krapser was unfortunately tagged, and then tagged Tim.
Oh. There's a fumble on the racetrack as well.
Yes, Tim McDonald fumbled
Fumbled
his
the steering wheel.
and bumbled it for about the next half a lap before he finally saved the race car. Miracle Man Tony Pizarro keeps his lap after losing it and then getting it back. One thing I would like to see is John Madden commentate NASCAR and have Darrell Waltrip commentate football.
Jesus Christ.
Just see how many mistakes they make. More than they normally would on their own sport. Right now we got Craig Lee and Ben Gear, only two takers to pit road. And Donald Stewart and Zach Michael. Smart decision. Smart decision. Taking those tires and taking those names.
Touchdown, Ohio State.
33.
35 to 5.
God.
Getting out of hand in Columbus.
What makes you think that?
It's 35 to 5, and it's like halfway through the second quarter.
I did not know that.
Yes, after it was 5 to nothing about 6 years ago.
Coming to the green flag, it's going to be Mr. Ryan Hoyser first, Matthew Dominique second, Scott Jackson, Johnny Foley, Matt Burgoyne, John Batista, Ken Pettit, Mark Murphy, Rick Jackson, and Jonathan Scravix. Zach Michael and Craig Lee, the two first with fresh tires.
I think Eddie Murphy should release another album.
So I bring up Mark Murphy and you say Eddie Murphy.
I wasn't even listening to you, I was just going through an 80s playlist.
Did he sing anything?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
I did not know that. I thought he was just a comedian.
No. He did a cover of Good Day Sunshine.
I don't know if I want to hear that. Is it a cover or is it like a Eddie? I almost said Eddie Money. Eddie Murphy. Miracle Channel.
No, it's odd.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Howdy.
I didn't know this channel existed.
The 2003
exists.
channel.
I know, we just have never used it. I don't think we've ever used any of these channels.
I wasn't even sure if it was passive. Apparently not.
I think I'm your answer to that question.
Yes, good job figuring it out for us. As we may never have.
You know, I clicked on the stream expecting to watch some baseball, and I'm watching some cars go in circles. What is this?
This is what we call
BC
base
NASCAR 05.
MVP,
Base chasing.
MVP baseball NASCAR edition.
NASCAR MVP Base Runners Edition.
I think EA should just make Madden the name of all their sports teams, like Madden NBA 20, Madden NHL 20. Block punt! No! Wow.
Race recap so far.
So far, this is the second caution. Tim McDonnell, he made an unscheduled pit stop very early in the race, lost 2 laps, got them both back when everyone else pitted. His car was so slow that he got wrecked, and he got one of his laps back because of the caution. Randy Dobbins smashed the wall really hard on the second caution, and he's still out there. He'll probably be very slow. Ryan has led most of the race. The top 5 has been John Batista, Scott Jackson, Matthew Dominique, Matt Raboyne, Johnny Reed Foley. Those have all been the guys that are in it. Roderick Whitman, Alan Nesfeder are all 4 laps down. Alan won the pole, and he stalled the car and almost went a lap down. You're in the race. You are currently 31st. Brad is 25th. Zach Michaels 7th. Markel Murphy is 14th on the lead lap. There is currently 15 cars on the lead lap. Ryan Hoiser is still at the point. Half of the field took fresh tires, half of the field stayed out on the latest caution. And Glenn is 35th.
Oh no, not Glenn.
He is having a good day. He started the race, so that is a good day. Have you watched any college football today?
Yes, I've watched a lot of the games so far.
What's the best game so far?
Michigan, Wisconsin.
In the aspects
Terrible.
of watching Michigan get embarrassed, absolutely. Yes, that was easily the best game today. I don't know what I'd say the best game was today. A lot of the early games were blowouts.
Yeah.
My surprise was Joe Burrow throwing for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. That was ridiculous. Even against Vanderbilt, that was ridiculous.
Them defeating Vanderbilt, allowing 31 points and still winning by 35.
Yeah.
End zone! Touch!
The best
touchdown, Ohio State!
The best game for me right now was probably, I didn't watch much of it, but Cal beating Ole Miss.
I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
So it's now 42-5. For
Jesus, I didn't realize
track.
Iowa State beat them 72-20. Good God.
Who the hell they play?
UL Monroe.
Damn.
Louisiana Monroe. Coastal beat UMass 62-28. UMass is now 0-4. I don't know how that program is going to stay up in the FBS. There's no way.
Indiana beat UConn like 38-3.
Yeah. What? Is this a basketball game?
If it was a basketball game, I might go the other way. Basketball, at least.
Caution
14-3.
flag is out. Christian Torres has made a spin in a full-wide effort that cost him some car damage.
You know, we got guys out here who haven't won late model races.
Yeah, I mean, what the shit is that?
Christian Torres has warped his way to some late model victories in the South.
Tim, almost... Yeah.
Tim's just riding around at this point. He's only
Last lap of 21.9. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Oh, he got a little bit of it. That could have been a lot worse, but Broderick cleaned him out.
Yeah, it was some excellent road, not road rage. What am I looking for? Wreck avoidance.
Wreck avoidance, yes. What's tonight's big game?
Georgia and Notre Dame.
Yeah, the one on the... Yes. That's right.
Let's go, Georgia.
I knew it was Georgia. I just remembered they were playing already. And then I think Texas plays Oklahoma State.
Looks like points leader Craig Lee made a green flag pit stop. He is currently 32nd. He indeed did. Wow. Well, after everything that's happened tonight, looks like maybe he had a catch can issue.
Good lord, I didn't realize Ohio State has scored 35 points in the second quarter.
Yeah, they're obliterating Miami. It was 5-0 for like a minute.
Justin Fields, 12 for 17, 197, 3 touchdowns.
Can they at least score 11? Or some other weird number?
I hope it stays at 5.
Awesome. We're probably the only team in the country that allowed 5 points today.
What do they
Probably
call,
the rest of the season.
what do they call that term where it's a score that never happened before?
Scoregami.
No, with a 5 you can probably do that.
Oh yeah.
Especially if the other team goes like 80 points. 82 to 5. Damn, that's like a high school basketball match. Coming to the green flag, it's Matt, John Batista, Zach Michael, Dominique, and Scott Jackson.
Yeah. So like scores that have never happened in the NFL. Team tying with 2-2. Never happened before.
Well, yeah, that'll never happen.
I mean, you can't say never. It is possible.
That's true, you're right. As long as ties are still a thing, it's still possible.
Could you imagine if two teams... You watch the Dolphins play like the Buccaneers. Tie them at like 2-2 or something stupid.
Last 5. I think the NFL would just go under right there.
The funny thing is, there actually has been a score that was won 5-3 in the NFL history. It was the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, and they beat the New York Giants in 1925, 5-3.
1925. Dude, have you ever looked at like really old college football scores?
They're so bad.
Like there was a game that was like Kentucky beat somebody like 13 3/4, and I'm like, what the fuck? How do you score 3/4 of a point? And there was like no explanation for it anywhere. I guess because like different schools played under like different rules or something back then, because there was like 6 schools and 6 different ways to play or some shit.
Yeah, they didn't come up with a really unified rule set for a long time. And they just, especially in the 1800s, still the game was just played however you want to play.
Yes.
I think my favorite football story of all time is the fact that the sitting president had to save the game, and that was Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes.
And he literally saved the game because he thought it was so manly and violent that he's like, yes, we need more of this.
This is for the future military citizens.
Yeah.
If you can play football, you can be in our military.
I love how basically Teddy Roosevelt's like, look, we don't get in enough wars anymore, so we need to emulate wars on the field.
Right, and then like 5 years later, World War I happened.
Thanks to football, we won the war.
Throw it, you fuck! Run, you fuck! There we
Is
go.
Justin still in?
Oh, dude, there's a minute left in the second quarter. Yeah, he's still in. It was 4th and 3. We just threw it down to the 10.
I wonder if he'll come out and start the third quarter. I'd imagine he will, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
never know these days. Teams, like,
Alabama's way too soft.
yeah, they kind of are, and
Right.
it shows.
It's
That's
hurting.
that's honestly why an Alabama QB will probably never win another Heisman
Touchdown!
with Nick Saban, is because they don't run up the score.
Ohio State. It's pending extra point 49 to, say it with me, 5.
It's got to be scoregami. Well, at least he has 4 touchdowns now, so that's good.
In the first half.
Good for his Heisman hopes.
Has there ever been a score with a negative point?
No.
Yeah, it's never been possible. I don't think even in the early rules of the game it was impossible.
Maybe they should do that. Like safeties from now on, just lose the other team's points.
Instead of gaining.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. Same effect.
I don't know. If you can get negative points on fantasy football, you should be able to get negative points points and scores. John Batista currently at the point. Matt Burgoyne second, Scott Jackson third, Zach Michael fourth, Ryan Heuser on, I believe, fresher tires all the way up to fifth. A lot of craziness going on. Tex Perry almost hits the ball coming off the corner. Meanwhile, Tim McDonald looking to get his other lap back, currently in the 26th position. Steven Spears. Oh, God! Damn, that's bad. Well, it looks that Dan Johnston has had quite an incident on the backstretch there.
My TeamSpeak audio is so quiet for some reason.
Let's see what happens.
Not the voices, but just like...
Notifications.
Yeah.
It is. What do you make NCAA football? Alright, you want another football game loaded with Ultimate Team and horrible glitches?
God. And we got a wreck!
Teammates Dan Johnston and they hit the wall very well.
This race is actually going to be more entertaining than the actual race.
Anytime you have caution.
Yes.
I don't think the cup race will be that bad.
No, it'll be better.
Yes.
Still not expecting, like, much.
It'll probably be better than yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That was just a showdown of 8 competitive cars. With one actually getting the setup right and having a good driver.
I think it just fits the series so well is that there's good teams and then there's bad teams, and most of the field is bad teams, so Cup Series is just that much more competitive. Like, even though we have the same guys that dominate each week, it's like it's still so much more competitive. Because if you pull up the stat and tell me like, oh, so and so, you know, they consistently run top 20 in the Xfinity Series, I'm just gonna turn around and tell you that is not impressive. What are you trying to tell me that's impressive about that?
Me and Zach were making, or I was making the argument that eventually there'll be no competitive teams left, and that it'll just be a bunch of shit teams racing each other, and it'll be competitive again.
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
From top to bottom. Ryan wins.
They're already pulling the Cup guys out. I don't think it'll be long before they start pulling the Cup teams out of it too. And then
Or the sponsorship will just up and leave.
And then, like, what you're saying is exactly what's going to happen. The talent's going to be so bad that everybody looks competitive, and they're going to go up to Cup, and they're going to be horrible. Who knows? There's so many theories and ways on how to fix these issues, and then they all have their flaws.
Ben Gear is our leader.
Not for long.
But I agree. I think he's staying out. But I agree that that's probably what's going to happen. Roush is out, and Roush has been a fixture in that series for almost 30 years.
One of the most dominant teams.
Yeah.
That 60 car was just unreal.
Once the 60 car left, they were in trouble. Ryan Reed can't fund enough money with his diabetes.
How is Pittsburgh up 21-10 on UCF?
Because the UCF is overrated as fook.
Doubt it.
They graduated their team was good. It's not going to be as good anymore. They missed their window. They didn't miss it. They missed missed their window.
Well, that big quarterback was out, so
Yeah. I don't understand what's going on there. I think he should just retire. I'm being truthful. We'll see if he's able to come back and be strong. I honestly forget that Joel Platt's not even 30. I mean, not even 40. He's still in his 30s. I knew he played at Colorado, but I didn't realize that he basically got injured his senior season and it was almost career-ending injury. Kind of was for him, really. So he didn't do shit at the NFL. He got cut from a couple camps, and he was like, "Nah, we're done with this football thing."
Struggling back in the 10th position. Almost 3 wide. Almost put into.
Did you see that Reggie Bush got that player penalized last night? Because he went to celebrate with him after the touchdown.
Yes. Are you serious?
Yeah, the player like pointed at Reggie and Reggie like stepped forward and then they like celebrated together and it got an unsportsmanlike. Really funny, actually. What was even better was that like Fox acknowledged Reggie Bush's accomplishments at USC and like how great he was, but if you go into USC's like Hall of Fame or whatever, there's like nothing about him because of the NCAA. Everything is scrubbed from history.
that's so stupid.
Well, they tried to scrub it from history. It's
That
like,
just makes it more historic by getting rid of it.
oh yeah, and like I think in 10-15 years he'll be reinstated and remembered for everything.
Ooh, the end of the modified race is coming up.
God,
his
he
choice.
was so good in college too. Did you know that college football used to have a rule back around World War II? And that ain't good.
There's a lot of things that are bad, but when you crash and blow up every week, you just come to expect it at this point. So I'm not really surprised or upset.
I
The
was
Red
just
Sox
like,
have been eliminated from postseason contention.
I'm just like, what just happened? But I didn't know this until I watched the documentary that college football in World War II instituted a one platoon rule, which meant that all 11 players had to play on both sides of the ball.
Yes.
You had to Iron Man. Like it's ridiculous.
That makes sense because if baseball did it, and that was so popular then, you think football would do it.
Well, it's the men's shortage thing. They were running out of players, and they're just like, well, we'll go to all 11 players have to play both sides of the ball, and you couldn't substitute players until the quarter back then. That actually hung around for a while, that you couldn't substitute players in the middle of a game, like the middle of the play, like and all that stuff. Rule changes like that, like they really open your eyes on how much the game has changed, because it's just come to be expected.
Like Sammy Baugh being the freaking cornerback, quarterback, punter.
Yeah, like most guys back in the day would be like, oh, I'm the starting quarterback, and hey, and I also play safety.
And I'm the best in the league at both. Sammy Baugh's the NFL.
Yeah.
For so many reasons. But yeah, that would be cool to see Tom Brady have to play safety. Probably wouldn't be in the league anymore. Like,
Oh God, no.
we know you're such a good quarterback, but allow Torrey Smith to beat you every play, and you allow 1,200 receiving yards today, please. Just retire. I can't, coach. I gotta win another Super Bowl. We're 0-17.
Can you imagine? Well, like, quarterbacks wouldn't be... That's the thing that they were saying, is like all the specialized roles would not exist anymore. Like, you would not have a guy like Patrick Mahomes that can just fling the ball, and that's really all he does, is he's a good quarterback. You would have to have a guy who's a decent quarterback, but is also a hell of a defender. You have to play defense.
Right.
And then you got the tiny wide receivers. I always say this, I love Tyreek Hill as a player, but I always say this, if he came in the league 20 years ago, he would not be good. Because he'd be getting destroyed every time he ran across the middle. They would just be laying his ass out. I mean, even in Wes Welker's time, that's exactly what happened to him. Dude used to get just destroyed by linebackers.
But when you catch so many balls and you're small, you're gonna take
that's
so
what I
many
mean.
hits. Eventually it will come down on you.
I think he was like 5'8", 175. Like, that is...
He was taller than 5'8". I can confirm this from Madden 08.
I don't know if he really was, because he was pretty... He might have been 5'9", but yeah, that's... That 2007 season, though.
If we won one game, or if we lost one game, we probably would have won the Super Bowl. All the hype.
I think Bill Belichick even says that. I think he's like, it's dangerous to win every game. It's dangerous not to lose.
Could you imagine during that last Giants game of the regular season if they were just like, okay, let's put in Matt Castle and all the backups?
Yeah.
And all the fans freak out.
Yeah.
You gave up!
Yes, we gave up after a 15-0 start. That's our starter, sure.
It's funny, the 2007 Giants are just an odd team, because that team should not have won as many games as they did. It should have been like a 7-win team.
Well, I think the second Giants team was even worse. They were like 9-7.
Yeah, that team was way worse.
It's incredible. Eli will be in the Hall of Fame because of those 2 games and the playoffs.
Literally because of those 2 games.
Yes, so there's no debate. Anyone who says otherwise is a delusion.
I know he'll be in, I just don't agree with him being in. My biggest problem with him is he was never a top 5 quarterback at any time in his career, I think except for one season. Might have been 2011.
He had 30-plus touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that was 11. But he's never... He's like the... I don't know, he just... I think he's the definition of a good quarterback. Like, oh yeah, Eli, he's good. Is he great? No. But he's good.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's at least 3 teams in the NFL that could use his services right now.
I know.
I think he's a much better option than Kaepernick. He's been out of the league for 3 years.
People are delusional that think Kaepernick should be signed.
It's been too long now. You can be as strong and work out as much as you want if you're out of the league for 3 years.
But I love how the controversy that he stirred buried this idea, like buried the truth on why he was benched. Like, dude signed $100-something million contract and was total ass afterwards. He just was never good enough to help his team win a game. And then everybody left, and then it got worse for him, and then by 2016 it was bad.
Yeah, he was benched before he did the kneeling. But they don't remember. Who was he benched for? I'm trying to even remember.
Blaine Gabbert.
Oh, dear God.
His brother is playing
Nobody brings
quarterback
that
for
up.
Miami, Ohio right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, no one ever brings up how bad Kaepernick was. He had a good defense. When that good defense left after 2013, 2014, it showed you who he was as a player. It exposed an entire offense. They just weren't good. There's nothing good about starting all 16 games and throwing for 3,300 yards and 19 touchdowns. There's nothing redeeming about that.
I remember that game where he had 3 passing yards. Granted, it was in very bad conditions, but still.
Yeah.
Like, at least give me 4 passing yards. Dave Miller, after his accident.
Looks like that golden horseshoe Dave found finally disappeared.
Yeah, he hit that wall really hard. I was surprised it didn't damage his car even more.
He hit that wall a ton.
Indeed. There's still 14 cars on the lead lap. Ryan's pulled away from the field, so hopefully JB does not see this, because he will say something again. Steven Spears is in the...
Awful.
Oh, 17th position, right behind Tim.
That's a joke.
You're doing a good job, sir.
I should be like running 30th.
Well, you haven't had any problems today like some people, so that helps. Zach's mired back in 13th, and Mr. Mark.
Could you imagine, like, if an actual driver, they're like, hey, bud, you're running 16th. What? We're a terrible team. We need to back it down.
Oh, God.
I belong in 30th.
Josh Balicki in 15th. Like, what?
Like Landon Castle qualifying in the top 10 with Morgan Shepherd's car. No, we don't belong up here.
This is not a thing. The tech inspectors are just going crazy.
They're
on
like,
the car.
Didn't someone do that?
Jesus, I say.
Didn't someone do that at Auto Club in like a Larry, whatever his name was, car?
Gunselman?
Yes, someone qualified in the top 10 or something like that in a Gunselman car, and then they started parked that race, and everybody was like, our sport is broken.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I wish there was more of that. There used to be a lot of that. I remember Derek Cope would qualify 9th in some no-name car, and you'd be like, wow, who's that? You don't have that anymore, though.
Just the back market teams are so bad. The small teams are just even worse.
Yeah. No, there's at least 5 cars that are just too slow. Too slow for comfort. You can put Kyle Busch in that car. It's too slow.
Yeah.
Then the team orders are probably just ride around. Don't get out of the way. Like, Darrell Waltrip was probably the worst driver in half the races in the 90s, and I have no doubt that they were telling him, you know, race. Like, we have competitive equipment, but now it's not for the back market teams.
When was the championship provisional created? Because I feel like it was literally for Darrell Waltrip.
I don't know what year it was.
It was for Dale Earnhardt, but he died before it could be used.
No.
Oh god. Yeah, 1991. Oh, they call it the Petty rule because Richard Petty failed to qualify for 4 races in '89.
Well, but that's
My response to that is yes, Richard was terrible. He should not have qualified.
You shouldn't have been in the race if you don't have a fast enough car to be in the race. You know what would make NASCAR more exciting? No provisions.
Yeah.
Have a 32 car field. See who makes it.
Let's light the track on fire.
Well, here's my biggest thing now. My biggest thing now is people hate this idea, but I say we open up and allow the teams to run as many cars as they want, because watching 6 JGR, 6 SHR, 6 Hendrick cars would be a lot more entertaining than watching what we're watching right now.
Let's get into the point where the fixed setups would be better. Just make it IROC. We still be competitive.
That's exactly how bad it is. The downfall would be you wouldn't have teams like the 95 anymore, but it wouldn't matter. Because the 95 already, or like the Wood Brothers is not a team anymore. That car is built in Penske's shop. Like, I don't know why it's still called the Wood Brothers.
Once Penske, if Penske ever ends ties and they can't find another alliance, they're done.
Yeah, I don't... It's just, it blows my mind, the nature of things right now. It's so bad.
I do like the fire though, like the track on fire.
I think Zach's onto something.
Yeah, I think maybe we need to add more entertainment value, like hoops and tunnels.
If we can't Evel Knievel this motherfucker,
we're toast.
Let's expand Lake Lloyd onto the backstretch.
It'll
Why
be like
not?
Old Daytona, just water.
We need Talladega Squeeze should be a thing.
Oh god.
Talladega Moses or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think that might be a little too much.
No.
There's nothing more entertaining than putting the catch fence wall at 3 foot high and watching cars drive around at 200 miles an hour.
With like 350-degree tires.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the best entertainment value you can get.
Let's put 40 Cup cars at Bowman Gray.
I say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's merge the Cup and Xfinity series and watch them class race with 80 cars at Charlotte. That's
Roval.
entertainment.
No, not Roval. Legends.
Yeah, the Legends Oval. 80 cars on the Legends Oval. That's true entertainment right
I think
there.
I'll just be like stuck.
There'll be cars a lap down before the race starts.
Well,
You should have qualified better.
yeah.
Honestly, that's why the single file restart died, because everybody complained. Because like at Bristol, you'd be half the field would be going green, half the field would be like, well, fuck, we're already a lap down.
And then on restarts, you'd have the lap down cars lined up on the inside going into turn 1.
Door slamming each other.
Right. The leader
Gotta
would
get
clear
my
and
lap
just
back.
leave.
Trying to find that race. What race was that where he qualified that well? It was some start part car.
You talking
Dude,
about that Memphis race?
Nope.
I remember that happened. One of those two top 5 qualifying efforts.
I think it's on these. I think it's on the Start Park Wikipedia page, which is actually a Wikipedia page. That's sad. What was the Memphis race? Was that Terry Cook?
It might have been. I feel like it's somebody else though. I don't see Terry Cook being that good to be up there. But it might have been.
Okay, so it was a Phil Parsons car. That I remember. So, okay. It might have been Terry Cook.
Dude, it's 21-3 Auburn right now.
This is sad. Terry Cook in 2009, that is just sad. Qualified 5th at IRP, parked it after 11 laps. Qualified 7th at Texas, parked it after 7 laps. Qualified 11th at Nashville, parked it after 20 laps. Started 12th at Milwaukee, parked it after 5 laps. 13th at Texas, 13th at Phoenix twice, 15th at Dover. All parked within 20 laps on each of those races. Hey guys, we have a fast enough car to qualify up front, but you know, unfortunately, we don't have the tires.
Our backup quarterback is starting the third quarter.
Okay, that's what I figured they would do.
So much for scoring.
No, Ohio State's backup quarterback.
I love how if you Google Ohio State backup QB, the first result is Cardale Jones. That's awesome. Ohio State roster. Who is your guys' backup? I don't even know. This position. Sort by position.
Yeah, like, dude, look at this shit. Landon Castle, the race, Xfinity race Saturday.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Overheating 20 laps in. Fuck you. How about you we just ban the team?
What did he start? 9th?
9th, yeah, in Morgan Shepherd's car.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive. Not gonna lie.
I told the team, like, yo, fuck you.
I would have been begging another team for tires or something. I'd have been like, can we please get tires? Can we please run at least half the race and see where we're at? Please.
Then he wins.
Because you can buy tires in the middle of the race.
Yeah.
If you haven't used your allotment. So if like you buy tires enough for 100 laps and you find yourself running in the top 5 or top 10 still, you should probably go buy more tires. Finish the race. Wow, I didn't even realize he qualified 13th at Charlotte either. Parked it after 31 laps. Handling. That's like where Michael Annett qualifies each week.
That's pretty embarrassing. Because someone 100 years from now is going to look at that and be like, man, he sucks. He always had handling problems.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
How come he can't handle the car?
Michael Annett has really shocked me this season.
He just saved his career.
Yeah. Like, I get he's not that, like, up front and winning a lot, like, racing for the win a lot, but the fact that he's in the top 10 or near the top 10 consistently now is a big turnaround from last year. I think last year's average finish was almost like 20th.
In that car, that's really bad. That's like Danica-esque.
It's embarrassingly bad.
Brandon Jones is the only one I'm worried about as far as...
It's pathetic.
Yeah. Having problems in the future. Cindric proved himself. He's not winning on ovals, but he's doing really good. If you finish second in Richmond,
Yeah, I think he's maybe starting to turn the corner on his oval side. We'll see. Yeah, I don't understand Brandon Jones. I also don't understand what's going on in JGR. I'm not JGR, JRM, Junior's team. I don't... Like, Michael Annett this season is their only winner. That's not a good sign.
Allgaier hasn't coached.
No. He's been close. He's ran second a lot, I think. I think Zach's watched more races than me. I think he'd be able to... He's run a lot, hasn't he? Like top 3 a lot.
What are we talking about?
Allgaier, he just hasn't won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's competitive, it's just like, what do I gotta do to get a win around here?
It's like that problem with SHR, honestly. They're very fast. They just, like, they're not race winning fast.
Except for Harvick.
Well, yeah, that's That's because Harvick and Rodney are like
Harvick is Patrick Mahomes of NASCAR.
out of nowhere. The second
Yeah,
half of his career have just
So far this year, Allgaier out of 27 races has 12 top 5s and 19 top 10s, so he's led almost 500 laps.
yeah. See, so he's ran competitive.
Yeah, just something.
How many top 2s? He probably has like a handful. Oh yeah.
Or he has a shit ton of top like 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you look at Bristol, he led 138 laps in the spring and crashed. Bristol, he led 131 laps in the summer and finished 8th. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I really hope Harvick advances. I hope he makes it to the Final Four.
If anyone can do it, I'd say he has the best chance of everybody, other than the fact of the playoff points. Maybe Truex has the best chance. Kyle's known to screw it up from time to time.
To put it in perspective, like I know 2015 he ran second a lot and shit. Even 2017 he barely won, but like if he found a way in 2017 to make the Final Four, I have a strong feeling that they're gonna do it again in this season. They get so fast at the end of the year. And I don't know, like I don't believe that they're sandbagging. I just think that they finally hit on something and they just, okay, let's go. Let's do this.
I don't think they were really doing that bad to begin with. People were just saying they were. Harvick's the man.
759 laps is the least he's ever led at SHR, but that is already more laps led than 12 of his 13 seasons at RCR.
Was it 05 when he led more laps?
06,
So it's
yeah.
the race, the year where he won like 5 races.
Yeah.
He won at Watkins Glen that year, of all places. It was a weird year. Gordon didn't make the chase.
Damn, like I really didn't. I've never looked at his age until now that I'm starting to really comprehend it. In 2006, Harvick was 30, and that was his 6th season. So it's like he was old by then, but not back then old. Like nowadays he'd be old. But now he's like 43 and like, oh fuck, I'll win races, I'll run up front, no big deal.
If you're in your 40s now, you have to be severely competitive or they'll just push you aside.
Yeah.
Because Kurt Busch, he's competitive, but it's like Matt Kenseth competitive during his last couple years at Gibbs. It's not good enough, which is really disappointing.
No.
He really is good enough to deserve a ride.
I hope he comes back next year.
He'll be back in Ganassi for sure. As long as he's still that's the best second car that we have. I can't think of any other point in time where they had 2 good cars in the same season. They had Sterling, and then
It's been a
nobody,
while.
and then Larson. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, Kyle Larson's 2017 season is starting to feel like an outlier.
He's good enough. He just keeps making stupid mistakes all the time.
I think he just drives the car too hard.
I don't know what he's doing. His car is a lot better. Or let me say he's a top 10 driver easily. That is not racing like a top 10 driver. He's underachieving, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Very badly. And he's making Kurt Busch look better than him, which I don't think he is at this stage. the next green flag. Ryan Hoyser, Scott Jackson, Matt Raboyne, Johnny Reed Foley, Matthew Dominique, Ben, Ken, Jamie, Rick, and Jonathan Scrabix. The top 10.
Zach, you know one thing I don't like about NCAA is the 70-man roster limits.
What's the actual limit?
College football, there is no limit. You can only dress so many players a game.
How many can you dress per game?
I want to say it's 70.
Probably something like the coding or whatever.
Yeah, so because, like, realistically, this is... KU has 9 quarterbacks on their roster.
What is the point of being the 8th string quarterback?
You run the scout team and you're a practice player. My problem is that when I'm recruiting, I'm significantly limited because I can only have 70 players on a roster no matter what I do. So I cannot over-recruit and redshirt them like the college does. I'm like hard-coded into having to start these players. And the real shit thing is, if I do redshirt them, then I'm down a roster spot for no reason. So it's one of those things that's kind of frustrating. I've only had a couple games where I've ever had to load my backups, like actually because I'm winning. So I don't know, but it's just a small thing that bugs me. That's kind of not really relevant for someone who just plays the game casually. But it sucks when you're trying to build a program and a lot of your players are in their senior year or junior year. Like last year, I had 21 seniors, so I had a shit ton of guys. But I ended up having to over-recruit. So I ended up having to cut something. But yeah, like I was looking at Ohio State's roster, I think they have 7 quarterbacks listed. But obviously you don't dress all them. That's why there's so many people on the sidelines that look like a player that are wearing like t-shirts and shit. Oh yeah, some teams, yeah, some teams let them wear their jerseys, a vest, yeah. It's like that. I think Sac State has like 6 quarterbacks, they only dress 3. They play Fresno State tonight at 7. Kevin Thompson's actually top 9 in the FCS for passing. Passing yards, and he's top 7 for touchdowns at 10. I think last week he threw for 3 touchdowns. It's Northern Colorado. Yeah, they're about to play another FBS team, so Fresno State. Could you imagine if they might? They can hang with them. I know they can. If they can hang with Arizona State, they can hang with Fresno State. There's no doubt about that.
Everybody thinks Pac-12 after dark is some great thing. I like Mountain West after dark.
Yes,
that's where it's at. It's like the Mac.
Oh god, Fresno State's 0-2.
Exactly, man. They haven't really been that good this year.
Well, they did hang with Minnesota.
Everybody hangs with Minnesota. Freaking Georgia State, Georgia Southern, whatever some big team they can play. It's always like 30-30 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. What the hell? The game's going to be televised on Facebook only. What?
Awesome. Is it going to be streamed by some guy with his phone in his living room?
It's going to be streamed by Stadium College Football.
Oh yeah, I watched the Hawaii Oregon State game that way. Ooh, hey, look, it's the finish of the modified race. They're 4 wide going into turn 3. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Tony, did Joe put a kicker back in his lineup? Because I checked this morning and there was no kicker set for his lineup slot. And I'm like...
I actually don't know. I haven't checked yet.
I'm
I
like,
usually
what are
don't
you?
check until late Saturday.
Yeah, I'm just like, what are you doing?
Joe will figure it out. He's not the type of guy that'll leave him out.
Yeah, I hope not.
Are you playing this week?
Yeah. If he does leave it out, can you please just put kicker in there for him?
If he had, I'm not going to sign a free agent for anybody, but
He has a kicker, Zane Gonzalez. It's
Yeah,
Arizona's kicker.
I'll put it in, but I'll have to call him first to put it in.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't want any playoff implications because of something like that.
Well, yeah, like I don't want to end up winning a game because his kicker ends up getting 7 points, and he would have won by a point if his kicker was in. It's just dumb.
Right, that's what happened with Zach Miller last week in NSRA. I should be 1-1.
What did he do?
He didn't start a kicker, and that's why I won.
I didn't know that. Jesus, Miller.
Neither did I, and I'm one in charge of this
I
shit.
still don't know if I'm gonna play next season. I think this might be my last season playing in NSRA. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
Well, I'm going to keep playing it, just for the sake of trying to keep building
I like
it.
the league. I wish we can get some more active players in it. I know Mike's active. We just never really talk with him, but I know he's very active.
oh yeah. Well, in order to tell who's active in our league, I just go to like the transaction counter,
Yes.
and I see like everybody with 4 or 5, and then like Miller with 0, and I see Tony with like 37.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it's so easy to transact. You don't have to press save anymore.
Yeah, I think me
and-
and Tony right now this season have the most. I just know Tony's always on the waiver wire. So am I. I try to keep up with it as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean I've made a handful, 2,
Yeah, you traded for 1, acquired 5, dropped 11.
and some of
I've-
that's because I've had to like move 2 guys to IR and pick up guys to fill.
Yes, same. And then like, I've acquired 8, dropped 6. Tony's acquired 13, dropped 13. Yeah, see, Tony's a very active fantasy player.
Well, and it's easy to do in my league because we only have 8 teams, so there's like you could easily build like another 4 good teams out of the free agent pool.
Exactly. Our free agent pool is very cushy and very nice.
Very soft and fluffy like a Serta mattress. Serta, free agent wire. Yeah, I mean we got. I know he's hurt, but we have Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Matthew Stafford, Derek
Did
Carr.
anybody pick up Julian Edelman? Because I did cut him.
Somebody must have. I don't see him.
I dropped him, and then Antonio Brown got released, and I was like,
Maybe you should have waited for that.
okay. I know, it was like 2 days after I released him, it was like, Antonio Brown, released by the Patriots. I'm like, okay.
No, you still have him unless you like picked him up right.
I never saw him get dropped.
Okay, but maybe I did drop him. Maybe I dropped somebody else. I know I was contemplating dropping him. Who did I drop? Oh, I think I dropped, what's his name?
Trying to get there.
It does suck.
You dropped Jarvis Landry and picked up
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes, that's right.
Jarvis Landry and Edelman, those are guys that really get killed in non-PPR leagues.
Well, even so, Landry only had 3 receptions yet last week.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah,
I picked up.
Gonna tank a little.
Yeah.
He might have more targets.
Well, I dropped him
Joki's
because
out.
I dropped him because I picked up Hardman and DeMarcus Robinson. So I don't. As of right now, I'm gonna play them, but I don't think I'm gonna play them because it's supposed to rain on Sunday in Kansas City. So I don't think they're gonna end up starting for me because of the weather.
Yeah, I don't know about you dropping Murphy. He had like a massive first week. Last week wasn't as good, but
He was hurt. I'm afraid he's still hurt.
I saw him listen to start in.
Yeah,
Dominic.
he didn't carry the ball very well last week, and I know he had a shoulder problem, so I was just like, nah. Goodbye.
Touchdown, Ohio State.
That's the problem with
6-5.
I'm curious about James Conner because I don't know what they're going to end up doing. I don't know if they're going to keep trying to pass the ball with Mason Rudolph or they're just going to start feeding Conner the ball.
I imagine they're probably going to have a little bit heavier of a run attack.
They have to. There's like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Dude, the division's right there. Like, just win. Like,
They gotta.
I don't
The
think it's
Ravens.
Ravens
They gotta be
good.
concerned about the Ravens. The like we'll see who